Good afternoon, girls. I have had the tick of approval that we are live and casting to our 3 other locations. So we have our junior school girls in the Corteil, so I'm going to say hello to them all the way at Chidley. We have our year 7 and 8 in the Roger Good and our 9 and 10 in the school hall, and our year 11 and 12 right here. We are videoing this presentation, and the intention is to release it to all students in years 5 to 12 along with the PowerPoint presentation this afternoon. This presentation is in relation to business continuity in the event the school needs to make the difficult decision to close its doors. Now, we appreciate there is a lot of media surrounding school closures at the moment, and please note that a decision of this nature will not be taken lightly. But as a school, we need to be united and consistent in our approach of online learning to all students in years 5 to 12. So today's presentation is to ensure that you have an understanding of what that looks like for you as a student. Today, the staff have been in sessions from period 2, and they will have continuing sessions in period 6, 7 and after school, and they will also have workshops scattered throughout Tuesday to Friday to prepare them in the event that we need to look at online learning with us all working from our home. Consistency is critical, so you'll hear me say that message a lot throughout today's presentation. So our process will be consistent for years 5 to 12. You will be expected to attend your normal timetable, but in the comfort of your own home. The distinct differences that you girls will be facing is recess and lunch will be the same, but it will be at home. There will be no wellbeing time, year time, house time, chapel or assembly. For a senior school student and a junior school student, during those times, you can use those to do independent study, homework, or use it to do some physical activity, and that would be encouraged. In terms of what your expectation is you will open Sector Learn and you will obviously have access to your timetable. If you have a lesson period 1, you will be expected to be in front of your device, connected and ready to go. Your teacher will have Teams operating, which is not unique for students in years 7 to 12, but new for our junior school students, and the staff will be doing some work in that area in the next 4 days. Your teacher will invite you to register your attendance in the post section of Teams. So they'll say, "Good morning, girls, I am here." They will ask you to respond in a particular way. So they'll ask you to say, "Girls, please say you are here," and you will type the word here. Part of that reason, consistency, is we know that girls will use GIFs, emojis, different ways to communicate their attendance, and as you can understand, we need to be relatively efficient in delivering our online program, so consistency is clear. Once they've taken attendance, your teacher will issue the instructions for the lesson. There will be an element of direct instruction. There will be an element where they will go through the lesson outcomes. Some of the delivery might be through video conferencing. Some of the delivery might be simply typing the instructions and the requirements of your learning in the body of the team's conversation before you go away and independently do your work. Some of the work that your teachers will ask will be online. Some of it might be through your course books, and you'll be stepping away for your laptop for that period of time. Your teacher will instruct that they will reconvene the lesson in the 10 minutes following, just prior to the conclusion, to recap the lesson outcomes, issue further instructions for homework or course requirements before concluding the lesson 5 minutes before the scheduled finish time. Now that's very strategic, girls, because we would like you to step up away from your device, go and get a bit of sunshine, go to the bathroom, get something to eat and drink before you then have to reconnect for period 2 if you don't have a free period and that you need to be ready and connected for your next lesson. All of your resources will be within Teams. The distinct difference for you right now is that your teachers are currently linking Teams to Sector Learn, and there is consistency behind this because for all students and parents years 5 to 12, they'll be instructed to go to Sector Learn, where you will then access your team from there. So we're using Sector as a bit of an airport, and then you will access your team from that platform and your teacher will be ready to go. How will you submit your work that your teachers ask you to do? Each department will be slightly different, and your teacher will inform you of how you are to do that. Some departments will simply ask you to email your work to them. Some of them will ask you to upload through Microsoft Suite. Some teachers will also ask you to do e-submissions into Sector, and there will be explicit instructions around this depending on whether the department chooses to go that way. Are you expected to learn via Teams? Yes, because it allows real-time communication. It will serve as an attendance tool for a teacher as well to ensure that you are there. Will you be expected to video chat with your teacher? This will be at the discretion of each teacher and each department. Some departments will prefer to do video conferencing for most of their lessons. So that will be like a FaceTime chat where your teacher will be on the screen and you also will be on the screen, but in a smaller icon down the bottom. The teacher has the ability to mute all the students, and so that when they speak, it's only their voice that they hear. But if they are looking for feedback in an oral capacity, they can obviously unmute, and that you will be able to share your answers and your responses with your entire class. Are you expected to be present for all of your online lessons? Yes. At the beginning of every lesson via Teams, your teacher will, as I indicated, write in the post section that they are there, and they will ask you to respond accordingly. This is our mechanism of doing attendance. When you girls are doing your independent work throughout your period, your teacher will then be entering attendance into Sector, and then the staff in the Student Wellbeing Centre will be following up any unexplained absences with families. So it's really critical that you understand that this is school just at home. Will your teachers be online to answer your questions? Yes, they will for the lesson that they have you. So if you have Maths Period 2, they are available Period 2 online to answer your questions. You can't expect your teacher to be available all of the other periods. But that doesn't stop you from emailing them directly or asking a question in Teams, but please be patient in allowing them the time to respond. It's no different to when you ask for their assistance at school. Sometimes it cannot be done immediately, and that they contact you in due course. The same process applies here. Will you require your hard copy course booklets and textbooks at home? Absolutely. Because your teachers will refer to this when they are teaching you online. So some of the requirements will be that you open your course booklet after there has been an element of direct instruction, and that they ask you to complete page 12 and then come back at the end of the lesson to review the responses as a class. Our request is that from today, you take home any unnecessary booklets with you and leave them at home, and each day just bring to school what you absolutely need. It could be that you consider bringing one file for all subjects to and from school. We appreciate this is a change for you, and from a level of organisation, you're going to have to really look the night before at your timetable as to what you need to pack in your bag. These are all preventative measures. What happens if you don't have a team for all of your classes on your timetable? Don't panic. Go directly to the teacher that you have that class with and just say, I don't have a team. It could be that you have been inadvertently left off, and it's a very simple fix for the IT department to include you in that team. It could be that there actually isn't a team currently for your course, and at the moment the IT department are doing a workaround for all courses that don't have teams currently, and very shortly you will be notified by your teacher that you should have a team to join. How will you seek assistance and clarification? I've covered this in the lesson that you have that period with that teacher, and still certainly by Teams communications and via email as appropriate. But please expect time in delivering a response, because your teachers still have their full teaching load of all of their other subjects and year levels. What happens during recess, lunch and study periods? I have covered this. It will be your time at home. Use it wisely, particularly in Year 11 and 12. Use it to study, do course revision, build in time for some physical activity, get outside, stretch your legs, all the things that you would be doing as normal. What happens if there is a test schedule while school is closed? So if you do have a test, the teachers may modify the assessment so you can complete it at home, and you may be asked to submit it via email by a particular date and by a particular time. Some teachers may use tests in Microsoft Forms, which has the ability to add start and end times, so very prescriptive in terms of you accessing it at that particular timed window and then submitting it for upload. And some teachers may delay their assessments, and so they will be communicating that to you directly in the event of a school closure. What will happen with senior school exams? At the moment, there is no change to our schedule. And if there are any changes, you will hear directly from our Dean of Academics, not only to students, but your parents as well. What happens if you're having technical difficulties in receiving the online learning from your teacher? You're to email Help Desk for support, and they may be able to provide some instructions. You can also email your teacher directly, and they may be able to assist you. What will the dress code of conduct be for learning at home? It is the same as your expectation for any technology use here at St Hilda's. If we determine inappropriate behaviour in the online capacity, your teacher will remove you from the team immediately, and the Dean of Academics and the Dean of Student Wellbeing will be informed, in which time we will contact your parents to discuss further. There will be an expectation for all online lessons that you will be in your St Hilda's PE uniform. It might seem funny, but as soon as you put a uniform on, you have the mindset there that you're there to learn. Okay, girls, I'll bring you back because I appreciate there may be some questions towards the end. How soon before I'm expected to start using Sector Learn? I believe some teachers have started today. So you will find between now and Friday that teachers will be asking you to simulate attendance via Teams. So they might book your class into a lab in the library. They might book the cows so you can have a portable device in front of you. And they might also deliver their lesson in an online capacity, either with all of you in the same room and that teacher there, or they might put themselves in another room and they might do video conferencing. So please be flexible as we trial these platforms. It is important that we road test them to ensure that in the event that we do need to move to this model, that not only do our teachers feel comfortable, that you also feel comfortable in the delivery. What do we expect from you? You will get a sleep in because you don't have wellbeing time in the morning, but you will be expected at home to be ready at 8:30 in your PE uniform. You are to attend all of your classes, thanks girls, as per your timetable, and be ready in the team for the instruction of the teacher in charge to take attendance. You'll be expected to complete all of your set work, request any assistance through Teams and or email, and complete homework tasks as required. What if you're sick? Your parent needs to email Student Wellbeing Centre with your absence. As I said, if we don't have a reason for your absence, we'll be contacting them directly anyway, as we have to ratify for registration requirements for schools. So in terms of knowing where your teams are, in Sector Learn, I'm going to take you through quite quickly, because this PowerPoint will be shared with you, how you find these. So you go to Sector Learn and you select courses. Select your timetabled class and the course cover page will load. Scroll down on the cover page until your Teams link is visible and click on the icon. The Microsoft Teams will open in a browser window. Select Open Teams. Your class team will open and wait patiently for your teacher to connect. Please give them time. Remember, if you're period 5, they might have been teaching period 4. And so they need to disconnect from the class they've just taught and reconnect with their new team. As I said, these slides will be showed to you. In terms of pastoral support, we appreciate in the circumstance where we have a school closure that our support won't stop just because you're at home and we are also working remotely. Our school psychologists are available. If you need support from them, we ask that you email them directly. They will set you an instruction to download Skype, and then they will send you suggested times that you both can connect. At this time, they will ask you whether you would prefer a video conference call or an audio call. Obviously, audio, you won't see each other's faces, but with video, you would be able to. Please note that this support is available to any student who would like to access it. Further support clearly through your heads of year and in the junior school through your classroom teachers. Frequently asked questions. What do you do if you don't have a device at home? Or you could be in the situation where you're one of 3 siblings in your household and there's only one device that you share amongst yourselves. Now, your parents have been told this, but you are independent enough to email PRC at St Hilda's and request a loan device. In the event of a school closure and you have requested a device, we will contact you to arrange a date and a time to collect the device for you to use for the period of the school closure. In terms of Teams, what we encourage you to do right now when you get home from school is to check your existing home device has Teams and Office 365 installed. There was information in the communication that went out last week to parents to do this self-check. But for many of our students, particularly in the PAC and in the other locations in the senior school, you are independent enough to do this check yourself. What would we do if sector or teams failed? You're at home, we're working remotely. We would send a text message to your parents to let you know that there is an outage. The school would also email the teachers because they also would be unaware of the outage. We would ask that students complete independent work. So this could be any assignments or study preparation for an upcoming assessment or just completing some homework. Once we're aware that the outage has been resolved, we would text your parents to say it has been fixed and that the online learning would commence at the start of a new period. So if our outage was between periods, we wouldn't start our onlining straight away. We would start at the beginning of a clean period. And we would also email our teachers so they are aware of the start time as well. Probably something not at the forefront of everyone's minds, but in the event of a school closure and in the event that you're not in Western Australia, our expectation is that you are on our time zone because our teachers are on our time zone. So if you happen to be in Melbourne or Sydney, you would have to be available to learn your content at the same time your teachers are delivering it. Okay, now I appreciate there will be particular questions that are relevant for Year 11 and 12 in this room, and for the people who are live streaming, they might not be relevant, but I will open the floor. I have Dean of Academics available. There's a few heads of department. I have our Year 11 and 12 heads of year here who can step in. If we're not sure of a school response, I will let you know that we will take it to a committee and come back to you with an answer, should we not be in a position to respond right now. Because we are live streaming, I can't leave here. So if you have a question, put your hand up and I will repeat it through the microphone so everyone can hear it. And I can't see because of the lights, so big voice.